Renee with Delaney Jane Cards. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have kind of a special video for you. I think I've been saying that a lot lately, but this video is brought to you by Courtney Creeber. I will leave her link below. She sent me one of the Simon Says stamp kits. Now I know that the February kit is already out. And there's a ton of videos on it already, but this is the January kit. She didn't open it. She did this kit week on her channel, and I will, like I said, link her channel below, but I'll also link the Simon Says Stamp kit week video for you below. But she sent this to me because she didn't use it, and she thought that maybe I would find it interesting. So she was right. I found it interesting. Actually, what it is I normally subscribe to 2 different kits, and I recently decided that I wanted to change it up for this year, and I haven't quite decided on what kit. So I think she's trying to push me into the Simon Says Stamp direction, and who knows? I don't have an answer yet as to what I want to pick up. But I did get to unbox this, and it even included the lollipop, so she hadn't even opened it. Had these really cool, what are they, snow globe kind of things, and a die and some envelopes. The Simon Says Stamp envelopes are really nice. They have like the pull off, like the double-sided adhesive, and you pull it off, you don't have to lick them, and that's pretty fantastic. So yeah, there was 4 of those in there. And then there is always a coupon code. I think this one is still good. Yep, it expires the 1st of March. It is LVEYU842. There's also a piece of glittery silver paper and then some pattern papers, and they are beautiful. I like pattern paper. So this one was they were gorgeous. They were very beautiful, and I did kind of struggle with what side to use. That's one thing I don't like about pattern paper, is sometimes I struggle with gluing a piece down because it's got such pretty things on both sides. So those were the pattern papers, and then this is the stamp set that's in it, and it is gorgeous. It is giant, it is beautiful, and it is a layering set. It is called Snowflake Builder. I'm sure that they'll have it available, I think, a couple of months after they put the kits out. The sets become available, or the stamp sets. But it's got these little dashed lines around each of the pieces that do go together, and I do use them layered and not layered in my cards. And it always, you always get a idea sheet, and on the bottom it has all the things that are actually in the kit listed. The idea sheet is awesome. If you don't know where to start, that is a really good place. And then there is some cardstock. There is some light blue, a gray, a dark gray, and a piece of white. And although I just told you that sheet was in the box, I don't have it in front of me, so I'm going to just call them light blue, light gray, dark gray, and white. And then there was a bottle of Collage Medium in the matte finish from Tim Holtz and Ranger, and also a bottle of Ranger alcohol ink in the color Stream. Now, I don't own any alcohol inks. I don't own any alcohol ink paper. I've never played with alcohol inks before, and I did not play with it in this video. I don't have enough watched hours in YouTube videos to know how to use it, and I don't have any of the stuff I would need, so I didn't want to do it a disservice. Then there was also some Distress glitter. It's actually Distress mica flakes. They really look like cracked glass. They're big and flaky, and I can't think of what else I could say that they would look like, but like glass, like chips of glass. So this is my first card here, and I used that light gray cardstock, and I pulled out some of these. Well, I think I pulled out all of the largest snowflakes from each of the layering sets. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different layering sets of snowflakes. So you could, it's actually 14 snowflake stamps, but they're put together, so 2 layer on top of each other. Some of them could be snowflakes on their own. Some of them clearly are not, but the idea is to layer these. So then I also brought out my Ink on 3 Fade Out ink. This is a technique I need to practice. I really like the black lines, and I can't get black lines with the fade out ink. So I'm working on it. It is a bit of self-discovery in 2020, using some of the things that I normally wouldn't gravitate toward. And I was setting up to finish the rest of the stamping on this panel, and I have the mini Misty, and it is not quite big enough. So I pulled out the Taboo Tonic plate. I know you can no longer get this here in the United States. I have had this for quite a while, since it probably first came out. And I use this, and I use my mini Misty. I also have a Stamparatus, and I have a brand new stamping platform that is coming soon, which is a totally different brand. I am not brand specific as long as it works for me. And when I'm mass producing things, sometimes I need way more than one platform. Also, you'll see my head get in the way a lot. Sorry, is what it is. So here I'm layering the different snowflakes on top of each of these, and this stamp set is beautiful. It's definitely winter. It's not Christmas. There's a ton of sentiments in here. Lots of thank you sentiments. There's thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sorry. There's thank you. There is snow one like you. Winter greetings. Warm wishes. One of a kind. Love at frost sight. So much to be thankful for. You're amazing. Hello, friend. And then there is one seasonal greeting. It says seasons greetings. Otherwise, this is really versatile with the sentiments. So here I'm still just stamping the snowflakes. And before we get too far into this video, the footage in this video and I are not friends. I had all the recording done. I tried to do the editing, and for some reason my editing program in this footage were not friends. So therefore I have to pick a side, and so the footage and I are not friends. So my editing, I did not cut out all the things that I would like to cut out, so we're just going to have time to talk because we all like that. So let's see what has been going on in my world. My at-home middle child is about to turn 3. His name is Riker, and he is hilarious. He is a comedian, and he has really good comic timing. The other day I had a migraine, and when you have 3 small children at home, a migraine and 3 small children do not go well together. Here I was trying to see where I was going to end up putting a sentiment in the end. This is just a placeholder. It's not really going to matter too much that I stamped it there. It was just for me. So back to migraine, 3 small children at home, noises are terrible, and he is very, very loud. My at-home middle son. Here I pulled out my Copic markers to put a Copic blanket of color down. I was kind of mapping out my colors. Really, it just made it easier to color later on, knowing that this was going to be pink and something else was going to be blue and something else was going to be aqua. So that's what I'm doing here. So migraine, loud children. So he is not quite potty trained, and he is going to be 3 on the 13th. So, I mean, it is what it is. When he's in college, nobody's going to be like, you were not potty trained till you were 3. You can't be my friend. So I pick my battles, y'all. I just pick my battles. Anyway, he was running around the house in his brand new tennis shoes. They're not really brand new. They were Christmas presents that he finally decided that he would allow me to put on his feet. But he only had a diaper and tennis shoes on, and he was being really loud, and I had this terrible headache. So I told him to go show Cooper his shoes. Now, Cooper is my 4-year-old, and he was in their bedroom. And so I hear him running down the hall saying, "Cooper, you want to see my new shoes?" And they went in their room, and I kind of can hear what's going on in their room, but not always. So I could kind of tell something was going on. I could hear some arguing, and I could hear some whining and some screamy toddler whining and some stomping and some yelling. I think I might have even heard some crying, but I wasn't quite sure. And I didn't get up to check because, well, yeah, no, they can figure it out on their own. They are almost 3 and 4.5. So I just sat where I was in my quiet-ish space, and pretty soon I hear Riker comes stomping down the hall. Oh, here. I pulled out my Prismacolor pencils. I will have them listed on the screen. I pulled out 3 blues, 3 pinks, and 3 aquas, and I did use white and black in the coloring of this card. But like I said, I will have them listed, and I just was putting the darkest in where there's going to be shadow, or where I thought there was going to be shadow, and I was working my way out to the lightest. So back to this, they're arguing down the hallway. So screaming, arguing, and here is this stomping, and it is stomping, the loudest stomping ever. And here comes Riker into the living room where I am, trying to hide from the noise. And he looks at me in the most serious look on his face, in the most serious voice, and he says, "I gotta get my own space." What? You're not even 3. I kind of was like, well, in 15 years, I'll help you figure it out. I mean, he was so serious that had he come to me with a PowerPoint presentation, I would have been trying to figure out how to find him money for his own place. Like he was so beyond serious. Which it's just one of those things that happens in my house. These crazy weird things with these two boys are very close in age. They are like 20 months apart, and then we have the baby who is 9 months, and she feels like she's grown and she thinks she should start walking, and I want to push her down, because that's just not okay to have a 9-month-old that thinks she should be walking. So here I did most of my coloring, and then I pulled my Prismacolors back out. I just have a small set. I think there is a 48 set. It has no grays in it. I should probably invest in a few grays, but I did not. So I used a black and a white. I tried to make gray. It never did make gray. I even pulled out the colorless blender pencil, which I do kind of like. I don't think it worked very well here, but it's okay. I just needed a shadow because I wanted it to look like there was going to be dimension with no dimension. So what I did here is pulled out a couple of sentiments in this banner stamp, and I wanted it to say, "Thank you, Snow Much," but the "Thank you, Snow Much" stamp does not fit in that banner, because that would be me creating the stamp set, and I did not, so I have to work with what we got here. It's gorgeous, and you could just do this. What I did is I stamped it here with my VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and then I stamped the "Thank you" in the banner, and the "Thank you" is a separate stamp, and it fits in there perfectly. It's sized perfectly for it. So then I could have trimmed my stamp apart, but this "Thank you" and the "Snow Much" are really close together, and I did not want to screw it up because that is my luck. So I just used a piece of tape to cover up the "Thank you" part, and I heat embossed the "Snow Much." Now this is a super tiny sentiment, and I use it's called a Strap and Tap. It's from Scrap Perfect, and it is an embossing bag. And then I used my Versamark ink, and I embossed it with my Brutus Monroe Alabaster White embossing powder. That sentiment is so crisp and so clean. makes me want to heat emboss all the tiny things because it was perfect. So then I did, of course, get a smudge. So I used my white eraser to erase it off, and then I went around the edges with my Tombow Mono. It's not Tombow Mono, my Tombow marker, because you need the black edges. I didn't want the white edges to show. It's gray cardstock that it's against, and I just thought it would look weird. So I die cut this little tiny sentiment out with my Simon Says Stamp Simon Says Stamp sentiment labels. They were the ones that Nina Marie Trampani created, and it's kind of a brilliant set. I really like them. And then I just adhered all of that down using my glue, and I added, where I had put the white details in, I reinforced some of them in where it should be the whitest with a white gel pen. This is a size 10 Jelly Roll pen, and I like this one. It's my favorite. I did recently, well, I've had the 8 and the 5 for a while, but I recently got a box of Wonderful Things from another friend, and she included a size 8 in there, and now I have a bunch of them, so I'm hoping that I will jump on the size 8 bandwagon, because otherwise they're just hanging around my craft room, not being useful at all. So and I should probably do it soon before I run out of that size 10, because, well, I only have one of them and I refuse to buy a 3-pack for just the number 10. So one of my goals in 2020 was finishing the insides of my cards. My friend Amanda over at Rise and Procrastinate, she does it all the time, and it doesn't take much, so I've been really trying. So I stamped one of the snowflakes in the inside with some Distress Oxide, and then the You're Amazing stamp inside, and I turned it back over and I added some Spectrum Noir shimmer pen to each of these snowflakes. I did not cover the white gel pen. This can actually dissolve the white gel pen, so I just was careful when I was putting it on to make sure that I went around it. It adds sparkle and shine, and snowflakes should sparkle and shine even if they're pink, because, well, they're snowflakes. What do you think of the different color combination here on this card? The pinky red, the navy blue, and the aqua. See there, I was trying to show the shimmer. There's a still shot of the card. I would really like to know what you think of that color combination. So card 2 is super, super simple. I had one idea and that it didn't pan out, but I went with another idea that did. So I die cut that snowflake die out of a couple of pieces of pattern paper. It's a really light aqua paper, so here it kind of looks white. I also cut it out of the silver sparkle cardstock. So I just basically adhered these down to this already gorgeous piece of pattern paper. I stamped a sentiment on it, and I mean, they're really, I didn't have to put these snowflakes on here. This piece of paper is stunning. It's got shimmer, it's got shine, it's got depth, it's like the most beautiful color tones ever. So all I did was snip apart a couple of the snowflakes and add bits and pieces here and there just to add a little bit of interest. I had tried to die cut the dark gray cardstock with well, I die cut it with the snowflake die. You can see up in the corner or up at the top there, and I put that mica flakes on it. It didn't do what I thought it was going to do, so I just didn't use it. But I did dot some more liquid adhesive around, and then I poured some of this mica flakes on here. To me, they resemble real snowflakes. I live where we get snow, and they're not always pretty, fluffy, gorgeous snowflakes, because sometimes it's so close to freezing that they're really like ice. So this is that card. Super simple, super pretty. So on to card 3. Oh, nope, here's the inside. I must have inserted the picture in the wrong place. But I just used the strip of that pattern paper and put that in the inside added a couple of more snowflakes, and I think I stamped the inside of this one too with the You're Amazing stamp as well. What I was saying is those mica flakes really look like the glassy, icy snowflakes that we sometimes get when the weather is just a certain temperature where it's just like falling ice. So that's what it looked like to me. So that's what I used it like. And in the end, the card is beautiful, and they did add so much to it. There's just shine in places that you wouldn't expect there to be shine. Here, I was finding a few pieces on my desk, and I was just adhering them down because I didn't want to throw them out. So once that glue dries, it is clear and shiny and gorgeous. So here is card 3, and I loved this wood grain. I have a thing for wood grain papers, and I have a thing for cloud papers, and this kit did not give me cloud paper, so I had to fall in love with the wood grain paper. Soon my heart. So if you follow Mary Polanco, she's been doing this quite a bit lately, where she will take a piece of colored cardstock and then ink blend in from the edges. Kind of what I did here. This paper had this like aqua foil already on it, and it was kind of letter pressed almost, and it's super gorgeous. But I wanted to add a little bit more depth, and my husband will tell you that this is his favorite card of all of them. So it must be nice, because he sees every card I make and puts them in our Etsy shop. So I ran out of ATG there, so I just used my liquid adhesive. I did refill it later, and I think I do end up using it later. But liquid adhesive is best to adhere to the glitter cardstock that I had. So I mounted my square on that. Foam mounted my sentiment that says thank you below it. And here I had die cut this snowflake 3 times out of some heavyweight white cardstock, and I stacked them together, put that in the center. And I needed an embellishment, and I used to get kits a lot, so I have a drawer full of stuff that I normally don't reach for, but these by Kaisercraft seemed like a really good choice for this kit. They are called Rhinestones, and they are self-adhesive, and they are in the color, let's see, what color does this say it is? Does it say aquamarine? They're really pretty. And so I put them on there, and they had these super tiny ones. I thought they fit really nicely on the circle ends of this snowflake. So, and I just had a couple layer problem there where it didn't want to stay down. And then I wanted to finish the inside because I was on a roll. I had finished the other insides, so I need to make sure I took care of that. Now, these 2 stamps are the ones that layer together to make that big snowflake, but I thought that they both could stand alone. They're gorgeous. So I adhered this panel to my card base, and that was my card 3. I do like how that one turned out. And I can see why he thinks, he says it's his favorite. If you ask him, he might not tell you that, but he told me. So card 4, I wanted to try something kind of fun. Well, they were all kind of fun. I really did enjoy this kit, so don't let me say that this was more fun than the other one, because they were all fun. They were all fun. I like all the cards just like I like all of my children. I could tell you stories for days on all of them, on the cards, on everything. So here, you see me have to move my magnets, and because I didn't get the greatest impression. What happened is, I was telling you about how I have all the platforms, right? I have no allegiance toward a specific platform. I like them all equally. They all work well for me. There is no reason for me to say you have to have one over the other. However, the magnets that I'm using here on this Tim Holtz platform are not the Tim Holtz magnets. One is one from my Stamparatus. The other one is from my Sweet Petunia. And they're different thicknesses, so sometimes, depending on the magnet I'm using, I struggle getting a good impression on my Tim Holtz platform. But whatever, right? I mean, I could have just put a piece of adhesive down and stuck my paper. I didn't get there. I didn't do it. So I did use my strap and tap again and put powder all over the paper. And you see me like leave all my stamps but rotate my paper so that my snowflakes ended up kind of layered. So then I picked a different orientation for my paper and I used my Versamark ink and I heat embossed the same snowflakes in the same pattern in a different direction on top. So that is 4 layers of these snowflakes. I had the broken china, the ocean, what is it called? What's the ocean one called? Salty ocean, the cracked pistachio, and then the white. And then I ink blended. And this was the light blue cardstock. It's not white. So I put on the cracked pistachio first and then went to the broken china. Makes this really pretty aqua green color that I don't think is available in the Distress Oxide line. I only have a few of them actually. I think I have 15. So I definitely don't have them all. I have to work with what I have. So I pulled these out and it just wasn't giving me the depth that I guess I wanted. And I had left that center strip with no ink blending. So then I pulled out the blueprint sketch and I blended that in all the way in back to the cracked pistachio. I just thought this was a really neat blend. And then I just took my microfiber cloth, and I went over the top and buffed away all of the extra ink so you can see my white embossing. And you can tell it's not perfect. The white embossing is definitely not perfect, but the way this ends up turning out, I don't think it matters too much. I was deciding on where I wanted to put my sentiment, and of course I needed to use the little banner thing again because I was drawn to it. Sometimes there's like labels and stuff in a stamp set that I don't want anything to do with. Like my I4 design does not see it. This one I really liked. So I did stamp this in VersaFine Onyx Black, and then I just heat embossed it in clear because I didn't want any smudges. On the last one I had to use the eraser to wipe the smudges off, and I was just over the smudges at this point. But I did go around the outside edges with my black marker there. My fingers are completely inky. You'd have thought I would have washed them. I guess not. And then I thought, gorgeous, but it could be better. So I brought my little mini Misty back out and I picked a few places on the panel to emboss a few more snowflakes. I pulled out that Wow Silver Sparkle embossing powder. Let's see if I can get the exact name. Metallic Silver Sparkle Embossing Glitter by Wow. It is so pretty. It is one of the only ways I like glitter because it doesn't come off. So I just stamped that and then I heat embossed the silver snowflakes over top. During my Christmas series, I had a card where I did a bunch of different colored heat embossing. I almost did that, but I wanted something a little different. So that's why I had the layers of different colors of snowflakes in the background. I really, really think that it is so pretty. So I had a little bit of that silver paper left, so I cut a strip and put it down the edge of this card panel. And then added one of these peel-offs. Yeah, peel-offs from Love from Lizzie. Just something that I have hanging around here. And I added a little piece of tape to the back just to make sure that it was all stuck together. Then trimmed it off at the dimensions that I wanted. Added a little bit of foam tape to my panel. Apparently I thought I needed to zoom in. And then I adhered. See, look, I was trying to figure out, do I want the silver on that side or do I want it on this side? And then I did the inside again. I stamped 3 of the snowflakes with the salty ocean on the inside, matted this on a piece of black cardstock and then layered it on top of my card panel. So that is that card. And it says Love at Frost Sight. I mean, adorable. So this is my last card, and my card that, I don't know if it took the longest. I feel like it took the longest, but it was probably just because I get antsy, and at this point I've been at this a while. I've been at the voiceover a while, and I'm already antsy. So if you stuck around to this part, I am so thankful that you're here. So while I'm getting this all stamped up, let's talk about Courtney Krieger for a minute. She is sort of amazing. If you have followed anybody on YouTube for any length of time, you know that channels really don't grow that fast. They don't. She has grown so incredibly fast on her channel. She has been on YouTube for maybe 2 years at this point, and she has like 7,000 subscribers. I think it's like a ridiculous amount of subscribers, and you know, it's because she's very talented. She is an amazing colorist, and that's why people follow her. But I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. Courtney has a heart of gold. She has become an amazing friend and confidant. I have never had somebody in my corner so hard and so faithfully with anything I have ever done than Courtney is in my corner now. Now, I have some other very amazing friends here on YouTube, and I couldn't do any of it without them. They are my people, you know. But she has just kind of made it her mission to be so beyond helpful to me and to so many other people. She really goes out of her way to show an exorbitant amount of kindness to others. So if you have a minute, and if you haven't come from her channel, or if you have not watched her channel before, like I said, we'll have the link below. Please, please, please go watch her. You will learn something. I learn something every time I watch her. It's just crazy amazing. So I did just kind of speed through all the coloring there. It was nothing more special than what I did in the first card with the colored pencils, except for this time I had a violet combination. I do really like these colors on this gray. I think it's stunning. And I just stamped the sentiment right on this card. Now, I probably could have just left it like this, but then I was like, I want to color the banner. So you'll have to tell me, do you think I made a mistake by coloring the banner, or do you like the banner colored? So back to Courtney. So she has this group on Facebook, card making collaborations, Courtney's card making collaborations. If you make YouTube videos, if you have a blog, if you are an Instagrammer, and you are looking to have fun challenges and are looking to join in on collaborations, or she even does a card drive every month. If you're looking for that, I will also have that listed below. A link, well, probably my Facebook link, and then I can, well, I'll figure it out. I'll have the Facebook group linked below, or at least the name, so you can look for it and then request to join, or however that works. I guess I don't know all the technical stuff, but it is the place to be if you want to be in some super fun challenges and collaborations. There are many, many, many groups, many, many, many groups on Facebook. The one thing that I really, really love about this group is everybody is equal. There is nobody in that group that is any better than anyone else. Or, I mean, they may have more skill, but they don't act better than anyone else. So that is a plus for me, and I'm not sure if that's something that you enjoy, but if it is, I would highly recommend joining that group. And like I said, I'll have it linked below in some way, shape, or form. So on this banner here, I think I don't know if I screwed it up or if I didn't screw it up, but I added blue in with my purple. I thought that it just added more depth. I don't know. Tell me. So I mounted this onto a piece of the dark cardstock. Oh, I must have forgot the white. And then I think it's pretty. It really is kind of pretty. I reinforced all those white highlights with my gel pen there. So that was a little bit of what's been going on in my world, about some of my favorite friends on YouTube. Um, I don't know if the Simon Says kit is the kit that I will choose. I would like to know, do you think that the Simon kit is where it's at? If it is, I mean, I'm open to picking this kit as one of my monthly kits and doing a video on it. It's something that comes out of my crafty budget. But I mean, I'm open to it. If you are willing to watch it, let me know. And then I do have a lot more videos coming up this month. I'm hoping to make really good quality videos and not fight with my editing program or my footage. I really want to be friends with my footage at the end of this month. And I still want to finish each of the insides of my cards, and I just have so many goals, and I am really hoping that you will stick around and watch me reach them, because this YouTube channel and sharing what I love is really important to me. So here are the 5 cards that I made. I absolutely appreciate you stopping by. I would love it if you would like and subscribe and comment. And as I always say, give cards generously. Bye.